Hey, DOT community, this is Alon coming at you with a Cheer Up Fury Friday night live stream. And what I mean by that is Fury, the gracious leader of NTG's NTG War Alliance, is going through, just some tough times right now, family issues and stuff like that. No major details necessary, but we definitely know that he's out. He's working tonight, and he's always on for these wonderful late night streams because he's working third shift over in England. So just getting together, doing a Friday night live stream. Hopefully soon here, Fury will join us, and it'll be awesome. But also for the community, I always enjoy doing the live streams as well. So, but it's nice to be there for a friend. Everyone always knows that. Everyone goes through some tough times, so it is nice to be able to be there for them. All right, Sven, 67, what's going on? Zeus, what's going on? Thank you for joining. Always appreciate it. So let's see. So I was just on JJ's stream. It was awesome. Great time. We had D and Drum over there and also Feranic on Discord. It was a real good time. Definitely check it out. Fury's here. I'm here. Thanks. Of course, this is all for you, buddy. The man of the hour. So, and we all appreciate everything you do in the as the head honcho, main leader of the NTG War Alliance. Been there for quite some time, and many other alliance leaders know you very well. Ian Rogerson, what's going on? Sven, the grind is real. What's going on? What's going on, Michael Marlowe? Is that guy Zalon everyone been talking about? What's up, Depressed Gamer? Good to see you. Alright, so in the beginning of the stream here, gonna pull the second token that we get in the event. See how far that gets me. But I've been doing a whole bunch of just straight grind. So... Got ruined, everybody. Getting burnt with this grind edge channel. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give a little bit of helpful support. Let you know that I'm grinding too, and everyone else here is in the same ship as you. So don't worry. The grind is real, as always. As per the usual for these events. So let's throw on this 2-star. Let Olmarin do his thing. Although if you would like to see me use Cerberus or I would say Thorhild normally, but I'm kind of holding back right now and just going to be using, just in case, Zeus in a few weeks, whenever Zeus drops, because of course we don't officially know yet, but when he does drop, if I will be using that Zeus way more, and I see that being the most likely the case, so I might be just leaving Thorhild at 41, at least for the time being. But look at this, I got a Warp Stone still left in my treasury. Nuts, right? Yeah, it was left over from level 10 of the Conquest event, because after I finished it, the event pretty much ended soon after. So, with that said, I just never got to use those last 10, and never will, because you always start with a fresh 50 every Conquest. What we will use is the 100 Portal Stones here, get us way farther along. Let me know where you are in the event, of course, in the chat. It's always fun to know exactly how far you are at this current time and also where you're going. How far you think you're going to be pushing it for this one. No boost relics, huh? Yeah, it happens, Ed. Especially for this event where they have very limited amount of boost relic tokens, like 2. A lot of people are just going to grab them, save them for the upcoming either Urkon or Zeus event. Now there will, being that they're still pretty certain, hold on, let me check. If because it's still very early in the month of March. We still have 3 more weeks, so the chances of actually Zeus not coming out in 2 weeks and being 3 weeks away is a possibility. So, how many tokens you use so far? Me? I used the 2. And I think I pulled 1 relic in the previous stream with gems. So I think I've used 3 relics in general. And then I also used a old 1-star and 2-star that I didn't feel like holding on to. Although I still have my 4-star from Cerberus event. So I'm hoping to use that in the Zeus event. So we'll see if they still keep those up. Anthony Hazelon got you on stream on the 60-inch, and I'm grinding away with you. There you go, Anthony. That's what it's all about. It's all about, because that's what I do too. I throw the stream up usually on the TV, and I'm usually grinding on my device. So it's always fun to be able to do that. I appreciate that. Put it down a little bit, maybe a little loud. Joshua Messenger, how we doing? The progress on relics in the last month has invigorated me for the grinds, actually. Yeah. Definitely gets you going when you know that you can get your relics a lot farther along with a lot of the drops. Early season breaks are boring now. Yeah, right? Anybody remember if Odin dropped on March or April last year? Oberonzon asks. That's a good question. I'd have to go back on my videos, basically, and check it out. Josh, if you're Ninja and you have the Discord server, if you want to join, you can. Oh, I was using spears instead of militia because I was using militia and I ran out of militia earlier, and then I just had to build them all up again, so I was using spearmen in the meantime. So I just haven't changed back. It's probably been a few battles. Oh, actually, it's been a bunch. I'll change back to the militia, though. Yeah, I totally ran out of them. Yeah, I'm building all these spearmen back up. What's up?
What's up, Salon?
How we doing?
Yeah, pretty solid. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Enjoying a nice Friday night stream. So, and we're all here, especially just so everyone knows again, the reason why the stream is called Cheering Up Fury is Fury needs some cheering up, DOT community. So, and we know he's working the 3rd shift tonight. So, make sure you all say that, what's it called? What's up to Fury? He's in the chat. He's definitely can hear what we're saying. He said he wasn't going to be able to join Discord tonight, though, unfortunately. But it's okay. Not a problem. But definitely want to give a shout out to him because he does so much for the NTG alliances as a leader and very involved in the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens on the week-to-week. And he's been doing it for a very long time. Anyone who's ever been an alliance leader knows that it's not just, you know, oh, hey, this, that, and the other thing, and it's not really easy because there's always stuff going on in the game that you have to be concentrating on and takes you away from just playing the game. So, again, we always appreciate leaders, and especially leaders that have been around for a very long time doing that exact same job. So.
Yeah. Anyone that leads to put in the same minimums is a whole level above it, because you're dealing with all the alliance politics, everything that's gone wrong, and everyone that's pissed at each other. You're always the one sorting all that stuff out. It's a heck of a lot of work.
That's true. It is. You got 9k souls with your old relics. Nice, Michael Marlowe. Wow, you had a bunch of old saved relics. Because it's only a 1.2 boost. You know. Because some of those relics you might have gotten, those events, those of relics might have given you a higher soul count with a higher boost. But, you know, and I feel like that's the reason why the boost is so low, is the fact that you're getting less for your relics. But at the same time, you don't know when the next time those events will roll around that you can ever use any of those relics. So for the ones that need the extra storage space, it makes sense. I'm not going to say that you're making a bad call, because I got rid of 2. You know, I just want to save that 4-star in hopes that the Zeus event will be good. Anthony says, I'm at 4,800 souls going to 12,000, I think. How far am I pushing to? I'm going to be going to 12,000 too, Anthony. That's my goal. So, between today, tomorrow, and Sunday, I should be able to achieve so. And hopefully without pulling many relics. Sunday will be my day to pull, like, any kind of more relics than what I currently have already pulled with the current tokens in game. Oops. Ian Rogerson says, watch out for Ninja. He's a vulture. Keeps hitting your ping pong land. So, yeah, I actually saw you snagged one of my VP lands either today or yesterday, Ninja.
Yeah, wait, I thought I rated it.
I think it was captured. It's cool. It's cool.
I did cap it.
It's totally fine, because I'm not, huge on VP, especially when I moved here midweek. That's not a situation where I'm trying to stay in Hammer or anything after the season, after this event's over. I typically go back to Legends. I only feel the need for finishers when or high soul counts, at least, when they need to fill spots. So
yeah, I think I capped it as it was a huge bonus, and I was having fun going after Valorns. I've got some sharpening to do on my Infiltrator versus Valorn gameplay. It's an interesting learning how to pick out what their resists are based on the relics.
There you go. Blade A says, it's my fault Michael had so many relics. I want to be compensated. That's funny. Let's see.
So now I'm going to have to find you and hunt your ping pong lands.
Oh, my ping pong lands are nice. I mean, now I put them out. I usually put out one with troops, all troops, and then I do one. It's either militia or panthers, obviously, or I put it out with no troops, with runas. But VP stuff, I still put out some of my better defenders just to see how they do, test them out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
19 old relics, Michael. Wow. Whew. Oh, there's Tox. Morning. How we doing, Tox? Good to see you. What's up, Joe? Good to see you as well. Churros here. What's up? FO Rebel. Salutations. Well, Sven says, I'm thinking the grapes might be useful for the Dionysus reprise. As in, there's going to be an event where they actually will use Dionysus event relics again? I don't know. That's questionable. I wouldn't... If you have a ton of them and you're running out of relic storage space, if that's an issue, I don't know. I don't want to say that you should or you shouldn't save them, because obviously then people go, #blame Zalon for my issues.
Yeah. I honestly, with people, I strongly recommend that you only pull relics as you need them, or if you're going to chain pull, use a relic calculator and know what your soul count is going to get to with the relic you just pulled based on your boost and what you'll be doing, because you really, the cost that you have of relic storage space, of not being able to use the relics quite the way you wanted and being forced to use those relics on an event that you might not be enthused about, kind of ends up, it just is better if you only use and pull what you need. It saves you so much hassle.
Agreed. Bad Mother Trucker, good to see you. How we doing? Hope you're feeling better. John McGinnis, how we doing? Chad, what's going on? Happy Friday, Robert Johnson. Thank you for joining. We're here streaming on this wonderful Friday night. After JJ's stream, he had a great stream earlier. A lot of good conversation, a lot of good ideas on possible things here for the near future in the game, especially for instance, the TOW that's going to be dropping next week. Hopefully there's going to be a reason to participate, and hopefully, maybe, just maybe, the gold tiers will have something really good for us. But, you know, it might be just refresh silvers because you're hoping to get event relic situation. So we'll see what happens. Because that's, if there's nothing good in the gold tiers, and I know 2 stars are dropping again, I am staying away. Staying away like it's like, you know, a hive of bees, you know.
Yeah. I may find myself doing it simply because after a year of playing Dot, I still do not have a stone mallet for my Goliath Titans, and it is proving to be a very annoying missing relic.
I just picked up a 4-star stone mallet this morning. It was actually a random 4-star drop from a ping pong land. It's insane, actually, that you said that.
To rub it in.
Sorry, but I rarely get relics that other people really, really want. I'm usually the one that wants relics that everybody else has. Who else is in that boat? You know? Come on now.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been in that situation before. Like, I've had people complaining about, oh, I don't have a mount armor, I don't have a whetstone, a 4-star whetstone, and I'm like, I've got more whetstones than I've been able to level because they just drop all over the place. It's actually been almost annoying. So, it's just how RNG works.
Very true. Very true. And just so everybody knows, I got Conclusive Ninja on here. And you're in which alliance right now?
Right now I'm with Force.
With Force? Nice, nice, nice. We also got Nate up in the house, Rob Lincoln as well. Thank you for joining. Fury is here in the chat, of course, and he is definitely on the job tonight, so we are doing a special stream to keep him occupied and or enjoying some sweet DOT streaming while he works his third shift job. So... And I only say it like that because it's just him at work. It's not like there's other people there. So.
Yeah, third shift can be really rough.
Well, the compensation is usually better just because you're working a shift that nobody else wants to work. But at the same time, the security job that he works, it's like like a 3 or 4 days out of the week, but they're long shifts. You know, so you're looking at 12 or 14 hours every time. So.
Yep.
FL Rebel says, dude, Stone Mallet drops once a week for him, minimum? Wow. Wow, FL Rebel. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like certain players get certain 4-star drops more regularly than other 4-star drops. Not saying you can't get other 4-star drops. It just seems like there's certain 4 stars that are like your thing. That's what you get. So,
yep.
I mean, for me, I tend to get Frost Spears a lot. I tend to get 4-star Gilded Arcs pretty frequently. Mount Armors. Especially a lot of 4-star what's it called, the helms for the, it's basically the type,
the dragon helms.
Yeah, the dragon helms. I get so many of those.
Yeah, my go-to drops are dragon helm and Goliath belts. I had to go through this at the end of the last Conquest event. And I took one of my 5 stars from level 3 to level 7, just fusing away the spare ones. And I kept like 2 of each element for all of those belts. It was ridiculous the number I had.
Wow, 2 of each element. That's quite a lot. After you get a Stone Mallet from an event, they will drop like crazy from battle drops for you. Really? That's an interesting like, I don't want to say theory because it seems to be working for you, Jamie, but happens to me with Frost Spears, Bitter Dirks, and other relics. Okay. All my extra relics came from TOW drops. Okay. Nice. TOW is great relic food. Yeah, it's true. Can't stay long. All right, that's fine, FL Rebel, but thanks for coming in. Still Racing VP and barely 1K souls. JJ's here in the stream. Thanks for joining. Zaret's here as well. Yo. Rob Lincoln says, pretty sure it's opposite of what you're using. Wait, I don't know what that was referring to. What's up, Soldier? Good to see you. Specifically rating for gold right now. Now that I'm Castle 23, I'm just trying to get a bunch of the upgrades because I let a few of my buildings. I knew exactly when timing was going to be, when things were going to happen. So a few of my builders, I didn't just send them on to another project. I let 2 or 3 of them build up there at the very end when I knew my castle was going to flip over, so that I can get those gold mines going immediately. So.
That's good stuff.
Gotta get the troops going. That's all. It's all the concentration on making sure you start your next level of troops as soon as possible. That's my major concern. Is always about the troops, and always about making sure that I have a troop being upgraded at all times.
Yeah, I found when I was moving up the castle ranks, I had to take a look at the wiki, figure out how long the builds were going to take, and then pre-time my castle upgrade so that I would be able to finish my armory upgrade or my, like, Mossmane Karen or whatever the next upgrade was for my troops, just as the last troop upgrade I was working on was going to finish up.
And that's what I do. I still have a couple troops that need to go to 22 because I know it's going to be a few weeks until I can get everything that I want. Because you got to do the mines first now at 23, and then the storages, and then you can do the actual troop, not barracks, but the other building for the actual upgrading of the troops, the armory.
The armory?
Yeah, and then after the armory, then while you're doing the armory, you should be doing at least 1 or 2 of the buildings for the actual troops themselves, because they take time as well. So.
Yeah.
But it's just one thing where if you have to do 5 gold mines before you can do the storages, that's literally all your builders doing the mines, you know. So that's that does hold you back there. And then still 3 storages, so it does give you a little bit of a ability to be able to do something else besides that. But for the most part, I'm going to go straight to the farms because I need to upgrade food storage to be able to upgrade some of my troops. You know, to be able to even start their upgrades, I need a little bit more food in my storages. So I'm going to be concentrating on getting the 5 farms done so I can get the food storage up as well. So there's a lot of, you know, you got to get those things all taken care of just so you can be able to start getting those level 23 troops. And everyone keeps on saying, oh, level 23 troops is where it's at. You get those level 23s and you're playing with the big boys. So I just really want to get those level 23 troops started as soon as possible.
Yeah, I don't have the level 23 troops, but frankly, if you've got good Titans, my feeling is that I'm able to take a lot of level 25 stuff just with, like, level 21 troops. Like, for instance, I can take maxed Valorns with my Jaldarg with 21 Goliaths. I can take most 25 Skolnars, unless you've got like max lightning resist and then like double range resist or some weird stuff like that. You can take most Skolnars with maidens. You bring Arya for stuff like Kronos's, and then you have an infiltrator too for weak Valorn elements, and you can hit a lot of stuff pretty quick.
Well, that's good to know.
I'm so looking forward to level 23 troops.
Well, yeah, for the most part, being a collector, it has made it so that I don't have like 4 or 5 all maxed out brand new Titans, like, because I've just used all my previous Titans to just forge into all the newer style, just summoners or just like certain attack Titans, and certain defensive Titans. So because of my choice of gameplay, which I don't regret whatsoever, I enjoy it thoroughly, because it's spread the game out over the time period and hasn't... If I became a level 25 player with nothing to upgrade anymore, like a year ago, I probably wouldn't be playing the game anymore. And I don't mean to say it like that, like, oh man, it just, to me, if I'm not actually, actively upgrading things and doing all this stuff along the way, it would not be as fun for me. Now, when I do become 25, will I have, a lot, at that point, a lot of level 60 Titans and all their relics all maxed out? Yeah, because during this entire time of gameplay, I've achieved that. Now, there are a lot more people that are way more active than me that have a lot more maxed out Titans and relics. Yeah, but that was their choice to spend the money and the time. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the same boat, but I do put in a decent amount of time that I think I am at least progressing along at a decent pace for a collector. Not for somebody who obviously is going to be always on the tip of the meta on a regular basis. But the good thing is, I have chosen wisely, I would say, at least with my decisions on where to invest in the last, I would say, 6 to 8 months, and I've chosen certain Titans to work on, and they're getting me where I want to be, and that's what I'm glad. I'm just happy with my current progress, I should say, and know that I'm at least going in the right direction with everything. So,
yeah, it doesn't take a lot of Titans to be really viable on offense for the VP game. You just gotta level the right ones, and if you want to collect the other ones, cool. You'll get some good rolls here and there that'll be like, oh, this is amazing. But then you'll get a lot of rolls where you're just like, why did I do this event?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jupiter, you said about level 23. D is not here. She said she'd stop by, but no, D is not here right now currently. I asked her to stop by to talk about the, what's it called, the sign-up sheet, the sign-ups for the Zeus event, because we're trying to get that started a little bit early in the NTG alliances. So, there's most definitely sign-ups for that, though. On band. Ian Rogerson says, I hardly get 4-star relics from battles, can't even say I get anything enough to call it regular. Wow. Well, it's mostly from most of like grinding conquest or grinding events that I'm getting these 4 stars. I typically don't get 4 stars in just from, Monday through Wednesday raiding, because especially with the fact that they say that conquest is most likely going to always be paired with the triple battle drops, we probably won't see triple battle drops as a weekly event ever again. But, it may happen, but it sounds like it's always going to be coupled with conquest, which means there'll be no reason to put it in the weekly events. What's going on, Shadow Cheese? Hate doing the Zeus sign-ups. Oh, yeah, FO Rebel? Oh, yeah, well, don't worry. I already know that at least, I'm pretty certain we already have one team, possibly a whole second team already, at least know that the interest is there. So, they'll be put together soon enough. But, if anything, we might have a third team, which would be nice. Now, I know it most likely won't be all NTG members, but most likely there's a lot of outside NTG players that do like to come in and play with NTG for events. That, I know Dee was saying that if we do have a third team, we start making that, she will most definitely be offering up a lot of spots to those outside players, just because people are really going to be pushing hard and they're going to want to find a home and know that they're in a place that is going to be doing the same thing as what they want to do. You have 3 teams already, FL Rebel? Nice. You didn't even sign up? Oh my gosh. You didn't sign up, but you have to handle the lists anyway. That's what happens. 3 event teams out of 4 active alliances. Wow. Yeah. I don't think we're going to do more than 3, though. I don't think. just for the simple fact that we have 3 alliances that we can work with currently right now to be able to do so. But how about you, Conclusive Ninja? Do you have to work on any lists for Force, or are you not in a leadership role?
So I'm not in a leadership role with Force. I'm still helping with some other lead stuff elsewhere, and I'm a man in many places at once.
I see.
Hey, Ian, I threw up a link to a video Gamer Rescue did, and hopefully the mods don't hang me for it. But it's a breakdown of, in the space of 1,000 battle drops.
Oh crap, I wasn't paying attention.
What are you going to be getting for relics? And he covers in that 4-star relics as well. And of particular interest, you're looking at 3.4 drops of 4-star relics per 1,000 drops. Now, if you take the 1,000 drops, you're looking at 1,000 drops ends up being about 650 to 670 battles against fully loaded lands, and not fully loaded like level 8 or 10 lands, but like fully loaded 21 to 25 lands. So basically that means you can expect, on average, you'll probably only see a 4-star relic drop about once every 200 to 300 battles. So it's regular, it's just kind of regular over a very large sample size. But his video does a much better job explaining all of those details and things than I can, so I'll just leave you take a look at that.
Doing a top 50 push team, a finisher team, and a team that's either 8K or 10K. Wow, 8K or 10K. That's, I mean, definitely thinking that it's gonna be super high soul count. To be able to get into top 50 is probably gonna be very difficult. If it was anything, if it's gonna be like Chronos, was that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's anything like Chronos, of an alliance full of just finishers, may not even put you into the top 50. If I ran the numbers for top 50 on Chronos, I think the lowest alliance was an average of finish for every player and then some extra pushed souls. There was very, very hot competition for that second Chronos role.
I don't think the finisher team will get top 50 if there's not much extra push. Well, yeah. I agree.
Part of that, though, depends on the soul count. If they do a really high soul count event, I suspect will be a lot fewer people finishing it all the way to the end. But it'll depend.
Do you think if Urcon comes out next week, do you think they will do Urcon will give a boost? Or do you think it'll be a case where they'll do some sort of crazy pull event before Zeus, and they'll have some sort of new Titan that they release, and they say, oh, this Titan is going to be the only thing that gives a boost for Zeus. It'll be something real goofy and something that nobody wants to get, but they have to anyway.
I am not sure. Part of me almost wants to guess that we're going to see... There's a lot of things that they could do with this event as far as boost Titans go. I think it's going to come down to simply what they decide to do from a marketing standpoint, and I think a lot of that's going to come down to what else do they include in the event. In the case of the Kronos event, they included 2 summoners. It would not surprise me if, due to Zeus and Poseidon being brothers, if we saw a Zeus-Poseidon combination event, and if that were the case, then you'd be looking at different combinations than, say, if they were to include just a regular Imperial 4-star or regular Maiden 4-star somewhere along
I have a
that
feeling that there's
destination.
I feel like they may do this is just because of Valorn, but they may do, because Siggy was included in the Odin event along with I think it was Valkyrie, and in that case, are we going to see a very popular Titan like Valorn, who has nothing to do with it, included at the first stopping point, which would probably be like 10,000, 11,000 souls, which would be ridiculous to have a Valorn that low. It would also entice players that aren't interested whatsoever in the summoners to go for a Valorn. But also, too, they could and then drop a Poseidon at like 18k, and then make Zeus like 24, and then they'd be pushing 26 for the relics. So I don't know.
Yeah. They've got a lot of things that they can do from a design standpoint, and I think we're just going to have to wait and see. And we're also kind of somewhat presuming here that the leaked stats, or what people have thrown out there for Zeus specs, are accurate, and they're not just leaving those out there as kind of a teaser and just completely changing it, because if they've got technical issues doing any of the things that it seems that they're doing with that, then you're in a whole different ball game. You just never know until it actually comes out. So there's a lot of speculation that you never know.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Hopefully they're not fixed skills.
Oh, there we go. We got Feranic in the house. There we go. What's going on, Feranic?
So you wouldn't want Zeus to have fixed skills?
If he's got fixed skills, what's the point in having top 50 also being Zeus?
2 things. Pre-leveled. And that's pretty huge, because case in point, this event is even top 50 is a level 10 4-star, and if you've got top 10, that's a level 15 4-star. That's a decent chunk of extra XP as a ranger to fuse into something like, say, Zeus. So there's the extra XP component, but case in point, Kronos. There are a lot of people that did top 50 for Kronos purely because they wanted a second one, because they knew he was going to be a solid garrison defender, and they wanted to be able to have the one on defense and another one that they could bring on offense, so that they would be able to have not switching stuff around. And if Zeus is the same thing, and he's a quality defender, which you don't really know for sure, but all the summoners have basically since Artemis have been some level of quality defense. It could be that he's another solid defender, and people use him on defense and want one for offense too.
FL Rebel says devs haven't hyped up Zeus. They haven't even said Zeus, except who's Zeus? DOT community is responsible for Zeus hype. What do you think about that?
They put out a picture that had lightning storms talking about the king.
Well, his reign.
Or his reign beginning.
Yes.
Sorry. His reign beginning.
Yeah.
From a lore and a mythos standpoint, Zeus took over the realm of Olympus and all of that from Kronos, and Kronos has kind of stood there as like the Titan. Like, Cerberus was kind of underwhelming, and so his reign is coming. Yeah, sounds an awfully lot like someone who has thunderbolts, especially when they're all being like coy and shy about saying, I don't know, is this a thing?
Now, Shadow Cheese asks, any chance Zeus will bring Omega Spearman?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, a chance? Well, being the fact that Omega Spearmen don't exist yet? Maybe? So
it won't be that great.
Yeah, it really depends on what they do. the code that people have thrown out a couple times is that basically he does some complicated spell buffing stuff, both in duration, damage, and area, and then the other component of what he is a maiden summoner. So it could be that that's just, hey, we're trying this out in code and we're testing it and we're going to completely revamp it and change it, or it could be that that's what it'll end up getting released as. It's one of those things we really don't know, and anything is purely speculation at this point.
Ian Rogerson says, hey...
On that hype...
Oh, what's up, Frantic? Go ahead.
Just saying, on that hype thing, I think a lot of it has been hyped up by the community. Ever since we had Odin, and then we got Summoners started to come out, everyone's been looking to see who's going to be the Odin of Summoners.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much been hyped ever since then. I.e. months and months.
and months and months. Very true, Frantic. Very true.
Yep.
Ian Rogerson says, I don't like fixed skills, takes out guessing what skills you're up against if you find one on defense. Agreed. Let's see. A ranger that's a solid defender in the summoner meta would be a sight to see. Okay. Smokey says they don't have to. We picked it. Yeah, right. Cerberus is super OP, says FL Rebel. From a low-level troop versus max-level troop perspective, Cerberus is OP. Zeus will be a little better than Athena. A little better than Athena. That seems underwhelming to me. Just a little better.
It all comes down to finer points on numbers and skills and how many troops they can summon, and just a lot of details about who and what a Titan is, because it's all it really takes is one or two skill shifts and it can completely change where a Titan fits in the meta. The biggest example of that is the Artemis and the change they made to that. They literally changed 2 skills. That was it. And it went from being a Titan that everyone was literally bashing on, or at least any of the top players were bashing on as a why are we even wasting our time getting this Titan, to a she is literally absolutely amazing. And that was just two skill differences, and Odin could very much be the same way. Sorry, not Odin, Zeus.
Yeah, everybody does that too.
It.
I do it too. Don't feel bad.
That's a pretty big difference in terms of the skill switch, though, going from Omega to All. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and my point was to say that the difference functionally was 2 good skills being added to the pool of what troop you're buffing, and that comes down to, I'm trying to think of a good example.
What's up, King Joshua? Good to see you. Rob Lincoln says I'm extremely meh on Zeus. Rob Lincoln's not feeling the hype. And I mean, there was people that were saying the same thing before Odin, too. And there were still people that were hyped about Odin, and then they got Odin, and then they were super depressed about Odin. So, that would be in my case.
Yeah, I didn't even bother getting Odin.
Yeah, that would be my case. But I mean, well, Frantic, what's your game plan on Zeus? Have you been saving up? I think we've talked about this before, right?
I've got enough stuff for him if I want to go for him.
Yeah.
Question is, if I want to or not.
Well, Frantic,
I don't see him being
how far are you going in this event?
Outside of Legends or Masters.
How far? Are you...
this event just 2K probably.
2K,
maybe 3.
Just to grab the 2 tokens. Well, what's that 3?
I've already got Toland, Talus, and Solzar. So.
Yeah, exactly. You've been around the block. So
3's the 100 Divine Gems.
Oh yeah, well you might want to scoop those up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in that case, now would you be jumping on possibly the Urkon event if he has better skills, or are you just going to straight up save for Zeus?
Probably just carry on saving, unless he's super good. Have we confirmed that there's going to be an event for him, or he's just going to be the main character? And
well, they said something about they said TOW, But the thing is, they also have stated that there's an Urcon event coming soon to release Urcon, just like they did Aurea. So,
Yeah.
All right.
And then they threw him up in the same image that they talked about
for the March events.
Lightning Storm and
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
I think it depends what else is in that event, really. Like, even this one, I'm not even bothering to use all my older relics. I'm using the 1-stars just to make space, but just keeping the other ones.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So you're using the 1-stars to make space just to get to 3K. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm sure it's probably not taking much at all.
No, I'll do the same on my mini.
Well, yeah. Well, how many event relics do you have saved up? Just random ones.
I think my main had just the 1-star, maybe about 4 2-stars, 5 2-stars or something, and then a 3-star.
Yeah.
And the mini's probably got pretty much the same.
Jonathan Campbell, thank
I
you
think
for...
it's got 4 1-stars.
4 1-stars. Okay, okay. Jonathan Campbell, thank you for speaking up. I'm in the same on Zeus, afraid to get him the first time around, then he'd be disappointed with him. Crappy part about that, the opposite side, the other edge of the sword is you may not get him the first time around, and it may not be he may not be available in an event milestone wise. He'll be just available in pull events, which is never a guarantee, as we all know. So,
well, that happened to Odin, didn't it? Odin never came back.
Yeah.
Odin did come back. Just not
it was
in any
an event.
It was a pull event, right?
There was one where he was available via the tokens. I can't remember which one it was, but they let you pull out your choice of Titans, and Odin was one of the options. But a lot of other people by that point, the meta had moved so far away from Odin because he was really a mediocre Titan in the first place. Like, Odin didn't have a good meat shield for his archers or for his storm maidens, so he wasn't really great in the first place. And then they nerfed archers, and Odin just kind of went
nosedived. Straight up nosedived. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Pulse is here. Thanks for joining. Gaming with Tariel's here. What's going on? Good to see you. Always awesome. Just so everybody knows that joined in the last little while here. This is a stream to cheer up Fury, the leader of NTG War. And we are very happy to always help out a friend that may not be going through the greatest times in life. Everything's okay with Fury health-wise, so just to make sure everybody knows that. But sometimes other stuff does come up that isn't all that great. So it is always nice, especially because we know Fury's working tonight, to have a nice live stream and let Fury know that we're there for him just as much as he is for us as a leader when it comes down to the week-to-week stuff that he does for the Alliance. And for the live stream, I mean, come on, Fury's is here in the live streams on a regular basis as well. Let's see.
General question.
What's up?
Is, in terms of Zeus, obviously he'll be useful in Legends League, where you guys pick everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Masters might be quite useful. Is he actually needed on any of the other leagues below that?
Well, I don't see why not, especially if he's got a new style of gameplay where you'd be buffing the spells. Although
you probably don't come across too many hard garrisons.
Although there is one thing though, is if Lightning Storm spell is going to be buffed, and you can't make Lightning Storm until you're 23, how useful is Zeus going to be to lower level players?
Good point.
Yep. So, my take on that, Feranic, is that if you're outside, if you're not competing for your main rewards down in, like, say, Elite or Champions, I'd seriously ask if you need anything other than a good 3-star, because realistically, you can save up, run 2,000 souls every event, and have a repertoire of really good tokens just to go for whatever Titan you want.
What's up, J-Man?
And at that point, I would be paying close attention, not now with all of the hype. I would be listening to top players who watch the live stream and then are making the people who are on the fence, who are saying, is it living up to the hype? And then taking a serious look at what did they just show in the live stream, and is it worth it? Then you can make that decision. Kronos, everyone took a look at it and said, we need to get this guy because he is absolutely amazing. If you see that kind of same assessment from Zeus after the live stream, then I would say he's worth it, simply because you definitely are going to run into some decent defenses. An old alliance that I was in had a couple buddies just having some fun down in Gold League fairly recently, and you've got some decent garrisons down there because you're going to be that level 21 or whatever it is, just kind of chilling there having fun with a level 25 that is deciding to rain on everyone's parade. And when you've got those higher quality titans, you can bring out your umbrella and put them in their place.
Does bring up a good point of those people in the lower leagues, I suppose.
Yeah, but
also not really much to fight for at the moment, end of season wise.
Well, also,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Pulse also brought up a point. You can also use relics to get the spells for Zeus. That's a good point. The only thing is, though, if you're a player that hasn't really had the opportunity to get those, or passed on events that those relics were available before, hopefully they will include some of those relics in the Zeus event. If not, maybe even one of Zeus's relics, if he has more than one, I would think he would. When they release him, if they give him 2 relics like they do most of the gods, that one of them will also have, some lightning storms on them, because it doesn't sound like he actually comes with any lightning storms, like, oh, his first skill comes with multiple lightning storms or something like that. Maybe he will. Maybe that'll be something that's changed from what we've currently seen, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just see it in the relics. You never know. Andre, what's going on? Thank you for joining. I've seen a couple really good Urkon setups, but still can't love it. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that Urkon gets the rework like Aurea. Like, who said that? Shadow Cheese said that. And I agree. I've been saying that too. Same thing. Because if they do that, obviously Urkon will then become a lot more of a player in the current meta if he does get a bit of a rework. Otherwise, it'll be a situation like Talend, and people will feel like they're another Titan that's supposed to be the showcase of the event is a Titan that is kind of outclassed at this point. Even though there are definitely people that can work with Talend, and you can, but most people will have many other projects that they would rather work on first. And that's really what it comes down to at this point. Talend definitely had his day, and this, again, not going to knock any Talends that are already out there that are really great for a lot of different cases, but at this point, for a player that's getting a level 1, Talend, what other Titans are you really going to want to work on first before you level them? So, that's my question.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's on my top 3 Titans to work on right now, so...
Oh, is he? Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, some players, other players would say they have other Titans that they're working on and would rather give them the Titan experience. But, he could be. He could definitely be on your list of Titans to upgrade as well, if you have a good one.
He's a solid archer Titan, and his meat shields are pretty decent. If you have Kronos, it's pretty tough to argue for him, but as a physical Titan, it gives him a little bit more access to relic space and what you can do with him. I would say more so than Kronos, but he's definitely enough that he makes a solid land defender.
Well, in terms of rangers, you need someone to put your ranger foot into.
Oh yeah.
You don't have Artemis. He's a decent bet.
Yeah, so again, like I said, there's definitely, that's how some people will judge events is, are we going to see something new, or are we going to see something that I could possibly already have? You know what I mean? So there's those tipping points to when someone looks and judges an event, whether they see it on the live stream, whether they see it just, just looking at it themselves. But see, there's also situations, and I do want to mention this too, Ninja, because you did mention about, judgment calls by a lot of the community, especially players that have been playing for quite some time and everything else. But a lot of people said that Dionysus was garbage. And then it seemed like a few weeks later, everyone started talking and saying that Dionysus was the next coming. So it just seems like sometimes it's not always very obvious, even to a lot of veteran players, how good a Titan can be until they really get them leveled up. So
I'd be curious going back to see who was making the comments on Dionysus, because I was one of the players at that point that was saying, and admittedly, I've been wrong, and I have some pretty off spots, but Dionysus was one of the ones that I straight up kind of said, it's basically an upgraded Siggy. You've got 5 free meat shields and a top tier archer offense capability. So if you were still using Siggy, like, Dionysus was a straight upgrade for that. So there's gonna be some things where if he changes the dynamics of the gameplay, you're right, a lot of people might make some incorrect calls.
Because people were just crapping on Militia. Because I also feel like a lot of people that were also looking at it from that standpoint, all their other troops were high level because of all the other troops being more viable, and that Militia was a very lacking upgraded troop. So that's why I feel like a lot of people, again, just didn't feel the need to add Dionysus to their repertoire because it didn't matter. Even if they had him, it would take forever for their Militia to actually be upgraded.
Yep. I'm one of the players in that same boat, but at the same time, I guess I would expect some particularly good players to be able to take an honest look at, okay, for me versus for the community, because there are people in a lot of the high alliances that share their perspective on, okay, where does this Titan fit in the meta, and is he worth getting? And I think those people can probably usually give a pretty decent beat. If you've got some hot disputes on that, then you need to listen carefully, because I think the difference may come down to where you're at as a player, but other times it's often pretty clear where something is going to sit.
I think level is a big thing as well. So what player level you are, what troop level you are. We all generally talk about, because most of us are all towards the higher end, like in the 20s. So a lot of the time we approach it from that sort of perspective.
Yeah.
But it is worth thinking about the lower ones.
Like
obviously other troops still are good.
Like for instance, like Lubu was not that bad of a champion, but to players that are castle level 20 and above, they really didn't see it at all. You know what I mean? But at the same time, lower level castles can grab a Lubu, max him out, and be a lot better than a lot of their counterparts that are in their same castle level. So
possibly even better than Zeus.
You think so?
For lower level players.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. My thought on Lubu is that was a brilliantly executed event. You had a solo Titan that was really strong for low or mid-level players that could still take advantage of it, but you also had relics that were such that those high-level players that were building out and improving their Valorns had 2 relics in that event that were genuinely really worth getting. So I think they did a pretty decent job with that, and it was worth it for everyone simply because triple battle drops are awesome.
That is true, they are. They always are.
Hear, hear.
I've wanted to, for a long time, write up a pitch for them to increase the amount of XP relics give in Fusion, because based on Gamer Rescue's drop analysis, you have an issue where in this you are going to max a Titan in about 6 relics maxed if you're exclusively focusing not on ping pong lands but on fully loaded lands. And so what ends up happening is you get a max Titan and you barely have the relics that you need to make them viable and useful. Like, they can be good at maybe their main thing, but like, take for instance a Kronos. On defense, he's going to be useless unless you have a 2 or 3, maybe even 4 belts that you can swap around with him to get better resistances on him. And so you end up needing to spend so much relic XP into that you get so far behind on your relics systematically from all the Titans that it's a pretty big, I'd say the biggest issue in the game at this point right now.
That depends how many Titans you get, though, and how many events you complete and stuff, obviously. But that's why they're coming in with this new Relic XP.
Yeah, that's right. That new Relic XP.
Which will boost all your fusion that you get for all your relics. You forge them.
Yeah. We'll see. I haven't seen that actually on live server yet, so when I do, I hope it's as good as they seem to think it is for Relic XP.
I think it should be similar to the normal Titan XP ones we've got, and it'll just end up boosting it. So it'll be an empty one that you'll forge so many into. You'll either go into them or you'll just use them and forge them in as one of your 4 slots, and then it'll just add like 2,000 or something XP and things onto your actual relic forging.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so real quick, I just wanted to say a couple things real quick with the chat. So Narsh, I'm not actually streaming on PC. This is still on my phone. This is Streamlabs on my phone. So basically, it works. It has a similar setup to PC, but yeah, it's a little different. Plus, also, I really want to say a shout out to Kool-Aid. So, hey, first time in chat, sup all member of Momo Squad. Thank you for joining. Always appreciate new faces. Feel free to move about the cabin freely. Ask any questions that you feel. But also, too, I hope you're enjoying the event with whatever goal you have set for yourself, Kool-Aid. Also, on Discord with me, I have a Conclusive Ninja from Force, Feranic from NTG, and also Dylan as well has joined as well, so he's also here on Discord. What's going on, Dylan?
I'm just bouncing, so I'll hand over my spot to Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll catch the rest of the stream later.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining.
Oh, I was listening in on the Zeus talk, and that's why I joined in.
Oh, okay, excellent. Yeah, because the Zeus talk it's now something that is a lot more in everybody's mind, especially when we know that he's coming this month. So,
I'm glad I got the hot to cord for the Cerberus event.
Okay, yeah, the hoplite cord, yeah, definitely, because it gives you the 2.
I think the 3.
Well, the 3, because what, you got the 4-star then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Narsh, it is pretty smooth, except when I try to use Streamlabs on my tablet to stream from my test account, my tablet seems to not really work with it too well. But I think it has something to do with... I don't know if it's... I don't think it's software, but it has to do something with my tablet. I've never had those kind of issues when it comes down to visualization. Like screens, like more or less locking up, or like making it look like it's an acid trip going on my screen. I don't know. It's just very strange. It periodically happens when I'm trying to do that. So making videos is great. From I can always record, but I don't know. It's weird. You're getting your first 4-star this event. Sing, how we doing? Good to see you. Winifred, hello guys, good night, yeah? Thank you, Winifred. Churro, what I miss? Well, Dylan joined the Discord, and Feranic left, and we've been just chatting up about Zeus stuff.
Not very much.
Kool-Aid says, thanks for the props. This event screams 12K to me. Yeah, right? That's where I'm going. I am going to 12K. That's where that's definitely been my goal since I saw the rollout on the dev live stream. Because as soon as I saw Nature's Call, I was like, it's in milestones. It's not even a chance. I gotta go for it, because I just don't have one. And even if I did have one, I definitely would want two. It's not a relic that, it's a bad thing to get a second one. Oh man, this guy's imponging.
What I'm wondering is how they're going to work out the radius for the lightning storms.
What do you mean by radius? As in, is this larger than it normally is, or something like that?
Yeah, because that seems like a lot of coding.
Hey, if they can work it out, they can work it out. I'm not going to complain if it's a larger area.
Yeah, my inclination from what I've seen of some of the game stuff, or some of game programming in general, is that that's not as difficult of a challenge as we might imagine. But it's obviously something they have to code in and manage from a standpoint of adding the feature to the app, but it's not like it's a super complicated one, I think.
Well, Shadow Cheese says, will the 30% radius buff for thunderstorms be enough to make Zeus an okay defender? I wonder. Huh. Well, it may. I mean, but then at the same time, though, how fast are those spells going to come out? Is really the big question.
Yep.
He might be like a Hades kind of thing for defense.
Well, I mean, Hades has summoning spells, but
so does Zeus.
Exactly, but the thing would be, what would happen first? Would you have the summons happen, or would you have the spells happen?
Oh.
What happens? The game needs to have a certain kind of directive on which things happen first and everything else. So if the summons happen first and then the spells happen after the fact, well, you might have killed everybody already. So, and then it doesn't matter.
It would depend on the rate, the rate of the spawn. If they did it, the summons.
All right, see you later, Ian. Have a good night. Keep talking, Dylan.
Oh, if they put the summons every 25 seconds like that, then it would be pretty fast. The intervals.
Not for some players that can finish places off in less than 30 seconds. I'm just gonna say you need to have those things coming out every 5 to 10 right off the bat.
Yeah, where summoners are at right now is really good. They get their troops out enough that they're effective for defense. But if you were to slow them down much further than they are now, I'm already closing out some defenses fast enough that they don't get to summon all of their troops. So you'd need to make sure that those are taken care of.
Yeah, so if Zeus is going to summon maidens and have these lightning storm spells, how is it all going to be, the lightning storm spell is going to happen before the maidens drop? So will that be less effective? Or
they could do it maiden storm.
They could. Well, like Duck Duck Goose? Alright, so for everyone, does Zeus coming in March mean it's the last of the Omega Summoners? The recent update mentioned there were more Titans coming. Well, they're always... Churro, there's always going to be more Titans coming. I'm pretty certain on that. So...
I think he means Summoner. More Summoners.
Oh, more Summoners? Well, see, that's the one thing that I keep on going back to, is back in the day when we saw leaks of people with a whole bunch of Summoner Titans, but they had like no faces. Because the artwork hadn't been done yet, but I guess the Titans like skills and everything else were already there and everything. But one of them was Hera, so, and we haven't seen her, so I'm just kind of wondering, because all the other Titans that were in those leaked videos have been released. I'm just wondering if she also is going to be included in anything beforehand. Maybe she'll be the boost Titan that they release before Zeus comes out, but she's not going to be in an event. She'll just be a boost Titan and you have to pull for her. That might be the case. And maybe she'll be the one, she'll be the goddess that summons spearmen. Boy, would that be a crazy pull event. Probably be impossible to get her, though.
It may also be that they just decided to rename her to Athena rather than release her as Hera, I think it was, you said?
Yeah.
They have changed their mind in the past.
True. Yes, things have definitely been changed. What? Pigsy's one of them, right?
Yeah.
Did you know her name also means, or is Juno?
Oh, you mean for Hera? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Greek to Roman. Yeah.
So they could just do that, you know.
Well, I think they're going to stick to the Greek side. I would think.
You know, because you brought up the Pigsy situation.
Oh, well, just I was referring to the Pigsy situation of just changing his name. You know, just the fact that things changed. What's up, Grisha George? Winifred says, my Cerberus kills level 60 Paladin simple with no level up. That's nice. Yeah, these Relic booster drops are horrible. That's right, Alex, I agree. Nice, so your Cerberus is a Chronos killer. That's awesome. Because I'm sure everybody always is trying to make sure that they find something that they could use effectively against a Chronos. So if you do, and you get something skilled very well, don't hesitate to level them up. Let's see what else here. Let's just.
We saw the same thing when Valorn was released. Of how do we fight this? What do we use to counter this? Because it became the defense meta, as Chronos kind of is, and people understand how to fight Valorn now. And we're working on the crowd knowledge and getting it out there how to fight Chronos effectively and quickly.
Mm-hmm. So we're at 3,174 souls. Yeah,
so who's currently better at defense, Valorn or Chronos?
That entirely depends on what's attacking you.
Now, okay, real quick. I did mention, Dylan, not too many questions. So let's see. You just used up that one. You asked a few before, so let's see. I'm counting down here on my hand. So you only got 3 questions left, Dylan. So, use them wisely, and don't just be throwing willy-nilly questions out there, okay? You only got 3 more.
Can I ask more questions?
No, that was one of them. So you only have 2 more questions now, Dylan. That was not a smart question.
So, since Zalana's limiting your questions, I'll give you a little bit, probably more of a satisfactory answer on the Valorn versus Chronos.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yep. So, my take on this is a lot of players still are playing catch-up with how to beat Chronos. Now, in Legends, there's, across some of the top alliances, there's a lot of crowd knowledge being shared within the alliances of, hey, this is how I bust Chronos's. Chronos is a little bit more difficult to cleanly break, simply because the Omega summons are a very... they make it dicey to bring your conventional OP multi-X skill ranged offense that just melts them. Like, if I were to bring a Hades against a Fire Weak Valorn, I'm probably going to curb stomp it even with lower level Grenadiers just because I can't do something like that. I run into a Fire Weak Kronos, it's a little bit more difficult to execute well against. I'm going to be taking ranged troop losses, which are a hassle to rebuild and recover, successfully countering the Kronos Omega Goliath summons, which makes it fairly difficult to execute an attack on. So I would say right now, simply because of how easy and familiar attacking a Valorn is, a lot more players are going to find it easier to beat a Valorn than they will a Kronos, simply because of the summoning mechanics. There's still a lot of micro to that, and a lot of players that haven't worked up the micro skill to be able to manage those components in a troop-on-troop battle.
There you go, Dylan. You got a very, very long answer to your question. So I hope that was good.
It was very helpful.
There you go. That's just what we like to hear. Because Grishaw George says, unlimited questions, man. Ask anything. That's true, Dylan. You can ask anything in the chat, but on the voice... No, I'm just joking. When it comes down to it, Dylan, I just want you to make sure that you're asking questions, that you're just, not throwing out too much craziness. But we also, of course, love to predict and try to be able to figure out things as we go along. But you've definitely asked some questions in the past, though, that have come out of left field. So that's why. Just making sure. Shadow Chi says, I predict the Omega Spearman Summoner will be a Valkyrie on steroids. Interesting. I like that. Shadow Cheese is also putting the Z's up. Oh man, is that too long of a? Was that too long of an answer, Shadow Cheese?
Probably. I'm not known for being succinct.
It's all right though.
Either that or he's headed to bed.
It's true too. It could be possible. We're gonna switch back over to Spearman for real quick, and then
I'm surprised it's not a Ares yet.
Well, we'll see. You never know. And also, too, remember, the reason why they, brought Hell into the fold of during the Halloween time was because they were able to do one Norse and one Greek god at the same time, which was interesting just for the simple fact that they, could easily make a Norse 2 collection and have Hell be one of them, along with other Norse Titans that they haven't even released yet. So, the only thing is, another reason why I don't think that's more Norse Titans haven't been released is the fact that Summoners have kind of taken over the meta. And that's why people are like, we want more Greek gods, we don't really want more Norse gods. So, just feel like that's kind of the way that things are waning.
I think it's more business aspect than people's opinions, because as a business aspect, who's gonna pay more for you to get Zeus or Odin? Who would you pay more?
Well, yeah, because you know that Zeus is going to be summoning, just off the bat. Not even looking at his new skills that possibly could be the case. So again, we don't know if any of that is actually completely true or not until we see some actual footage from the devs. Finding Valorn is better on D than Kronos right now. Kronos has too many elemental weaknesses. Interesting, Kool-Aid. Thanks for that. And we know, we know Momo Squad also, Kool-Aid also shows up quite often in the top 50. So it's definitely one of the squads that definitely puts in the work when it comes down to big events. What were you gonna say, Dylan?
That reminds me that I've noticed when I've been fighting Dionysus and stuff that normally they would summon on your troops, but they've been summoning more often, behind the lines, around Dionysus himself.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed some definite changes on where summon troops are popping up. I've definitely noticed that too. You guys think the summoner skill will carry over to other types of titans outside the Greek theme? I don't know, Churro. They've kept it very Greek right now. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be something we see anywhere else. I mean, obviously, X skills seem to just, you know, that's
I think
that's one thing.
I was going to say.
Yeah, go between all
ahead.
of them. But go ahead. Yeah, you're all right.
I was going to say, I think what we're seeing is that the summoning skills are on kind of their flagship titans, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we're going to continue to see that even once they move beyond the Greek ones. They really can't put the summoning titans back in the bag. So if you look at a basic concept behind the numbers, what you see is that summoners have created a pretty notable power creep, because if you're buffing, you've got a summoner that basically has X skills, and then you're adding 5 troops onto that, you're objectively better than any non-summoner titan. So if they were to say, hey, I'm no longer doing summoning skills on my flagship titans, then basically you're taking a step back really about 6 to 9 months to pre-summoning titans, where you're looking at, if you were to see an X skill Omega Militia, or just an X skill Militia Archer Titan, like basically Dionysus without the summons, you'd kind of look at it and go, what? And I think you'd end up seeing the same if you were to continue without summoner skills on their flagship titans. There just wouldn't be an appeal to them because the existing summoner titans would be so much stronger. They need to create something that were strong enough to be able to have players continue to invest in the game and getting the new titans. So if you don't have those summon skills, then you don't really have anything that appeals. They would have to do something else with the skill sets, whether that's a 6 skill titan or whether that's some incredibly unique skills, I don't know. But I would be very surprised if summoning skills did not continue on.
I think a more logical standpoint, like, for them, like, besides business, is, you know how X skills are? They're on the Greek. Like, they shouldn't be, like, on the Greek, you know, like the X skills, and then the summoners, like, step a little bit back and not have the X skills, but, like, level 3, so they're not too OP.
Well, it's been already done, unfortunately, in this case. But
yeah.
I see where if they didn't decide to do that, it would have made non-summoner titans with X skills a little bit more viable or wanted.
Yeah, the problem becomes is that's what they did with Athena, and she simply was not good enough to appeal to the player base. It wasn't a significant step up from a power level to get the player base going, we want this Titan. Yeah. Like, I remember the mass of, hey, this is cool, because it's the first Summoner Titan, but at the same time, a kind of complaints of looking at the numbers in the situation going, this Titan kind of sucks. And I didn't go with her for that same reason.
And at the same time, I feel like that's why a lot of people didn't go for the first Artemis, because they weren't really happy with Athena.
Well, I didn't go with her because I said Ladiga is straight up better. Yeah. The Ladiga with 2 resists, you get a good roll on Ladiga, and the original Artemis was hilariously easily outpaced. But the new Artemis is like, whoa!
Yeah, so that's why people don't.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't put Vasathi or Lathaga in this event, like as a booster or something. Because the Ranger thing.
Yeah, on the other hand, I'm glad they put Berserkers there. One of the things that is impactful as far as what they choose for boost Titans is if they choose a Titan class that has been more recently released as a buff, it encourages people to level those Titans. And when they encourage people to level those Titans, it makes it easier for them to use them and to get better stats and data on how that Titan is performing. And so my suspicion is that the reason they picked Berserkers for this event is to encourage people to level Cerberus up as a Berserker on Archer skills to try and get statistics and data on that.
Yeah, Grisha George says they need to give more event tokens. Last week's Conquest, no free token. This week, only 2 token, half a month, so free-to-play players can save only 2 tokens in half a month. Not fair. Yeah, agreed. It's definitely not easy for players that are just straight up... well, I mean, I don't save tokens either. I use them in the events pretty much every time now. I haven't been saving tokens at all this year. But... at the same time, for players that do want to save up tokens, it is not hard. It's not easy at all. When did the Maidens premiere? Oberonzad wants to know prediction. The alleged new troop type will make a similar debut on the 1-year anniversary of Storm Maidens. Okay, well, when did Storm Maidens was what, last summer? I think.
It sounds about right. Didn't they do that a little bit before Odin? Or in concurrency with Odin?
Maybe.
I'll pull up the Facebook announcement for that and I'll see about it.
Oh, about what George said, like, to be fair, with the Conquest, they basically gave us a free Mamesh. I think that was a Titan.
Yep.
If you're willing to spend time, obviously.
Yep. Honestly, I think that's one of the reasons why I really like Conquest as an event. It doesn't appeal to some of the players that just like dumping insane amounts of money into events. But at the same time, I think it does a really good job of opening up the doors to give solid 4-star Titans to free-to-play players who are invested in the game time-wise.
So, would you rather have 2 tokens or a mesh? You know, just saying.
I'm kind of thinking about that.
You fuse your Athena into Cerberus, Winifred said. All my old Titans go. Nice, Winifred.
So the Gathering Storm Maiden event, where they unlocked them, posted that back in August 16th of last year.
So, end of summer. Okay.
Yep. I guess to answer your question, I would personally be inclined for the tokens, but that is only because I already have a really good Mamesh roll. Still don't have a perfect one, but at the same time, I'm not the audience that would be appealing to, because I'm frankly not a free-to-play player. Like,
you could be honest. Be honest.
Yeah, like I spend not what I would consider an exorbitant amount on a monthly basis, but I do spend a bit on a monthly basis mostly for gems, simply because I prefer to grind events. The advantage of being able to level relics and level Titans is just too much for me to pass up. But I'm not the target audience of something like a Mamesh that is still going to be a really solid Titan in most of the lower leagues. Like, I'm in Legends playing against number 2 and 3 alliances and occasionally having a little dance with Logware in which I politely ignore the fact that I'm getting garrison camped because I don't want to start a fight with people who can close me in 20 seconds. That's just not the target audience of...
Did you hear that, Drumadiddle? Are you here? Are you here? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, a lot of people rag on Log. I've got a lot of respect for those guys because they are willing to put both a skill and an understanding investment, but also an incredible investment of time to be able to put out those wins, and you gotta respect them for it. They got a lot of skill there. And I totally lost my train of thoughts.
It's alright.
Here, I just got a new train of thought. So, since we're thinking Zeus buffs spells, I think they're trying to change the meta to a spell, like spell summoner, like main. You know how they've been putting like Lubu and stuff with 3 spells, like it's kind of like a tester for like main spells instead of troops.
I mean, I think they could definitely shift the meta a little bit more strongly towards spells. I think it would help with a couple dynamics in game. I do not realistically think, though, that you're going to successfully be able to change that meta significantly, simply because, like, take for instance a field full of archers. Like, a lightning storm is not going to really well take those out, simply because I'm going to put a hole in the center of every battalion of archers, and that's going to be all I'm going to do. That is really strong on defense, because it's going to wipe out my field of archers, and I may take troop losses across my whole army. It makes it a little bit more different for me to say, hey, I'm going to move my maidens out of this lightning storm, or what have you. But on offense, there's still... There's limited opportunity with what you can do as far as spell buffing is concerned. Now, maybe that's me being a little bit narrow-minded, and they've done the playtesting on that and have seen some pretty impressive stuff, but I can control troops. I can't control, say, a meteor strike that is just gonna dump fire everywhere. If I need to take out a collection of archers or something like that, I'm gonna bring a couple fireballs or a flaming rune or something like Almorand or Hades that can actually reliably, under my control, take those guys out without causing loss risk. So that's my take on that.
Nice.
Could be cool, but I just don't see how they're gonna do it.
Ed's channel says, free to play is hard in this game to get anything good. I'm now a pay to play player. Go Ed's channel. Balling out. That's why his picture is there. He looks like he's relaxing. He's got sweet sunglasses on. So yeah, unless that's the guy from the. That's probably his own picture. It's not somebody else. Might be though. Never know.
Yeah, I mean, you can. My previous alliance, you can definitely play this game free to play, because what you find out is that it's really every month, every other month, that you see a really strong meta Titan come out. And if you are saving up your gems and you're active and in an alliance that is full of active people, you'll be able to consistently get 2 or 3 tokens a week per event week, and then you'll be able to get a 3,000 to 4,000 gem reward from your whole alliance being active each week. And at that point, if you're willing to grind out a meta event like Chronos or something like that, you'll be able to keep up with the meta titans. It's not super easy, and you're definitely not going to have the roster of titans that people who are paying absurd amounts of money are going to have.
Mhm.
There are people who I take a look at their Titan collection and am like, yeah, I'm not spending that much money on the game ever, period, end of discussion.
Yeah, wow.
But you are able to, on a free-to-play basis, keep up with some of the really strong meta Titans.
So King Josh wants to know, who's on the mic with me? I got Conclusive Ninja from Force, and I got Dylan on here as well. I did have Feranic on here earlier as well, but yeah, King Josh. Conclusive Ninja's been on the stream a couple times before, and always appreciate his input, because he's very very knowledgeable in a lot of aspects of the game, which I always appreciate all sorts of views, standpoints, and play styles. So, because it's always the best to have lots of different aspects, because not everybody that tunes into the stream is a collector, but not everybody in the stream is a log player, but not everybody in the stream plays every event. Not, you know what I mean? I can go on and on and on. So there's all sorts of different DOT players out there, you know, and I try to have on a variety of different people on here with me, and I mean, you never know who's going to be on. It's kind of a, you know, it can be a crapshoot, you know, but when it comes down to it, it's always good to know that there's all these different aspects out there, and it's a mixing pot of ideas and different things that we can look at.
Conclusive and Prometheo are like my drumadiddle for D.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I'd still refer you to Drumadiddle,
Yeah.
or other people who have a high level perspective. There are definitely some situations where I got a little bit full of myself and didn't take some really sound advice, and yeah, I have regretted that since.
Yeah.
That's why we have small debates like this.
Well, of course.
Like,
Robert Johnson says, I keep getting 1-star relics. Ninja, how many relics did you how far did you go on this event?
I have not pulled a relic since, gosh.
Don't tell me 2018. Don't even tell me 2018.
If it wouldn't have been for the fact that I did a last-minute push on, I think it was the Nazul event for the Divine Gems, I am not sure I've pulled relics since 2018. I just grind events, like the whole event.
Oh, well, yeah. But even with the Kronos event? Or no?
Nope.
Oh, I thought maybe you would because of just positioning for top 50. Because, again, in cases like that, like for Zeus, I know people may go well beyond their regular soul amount just for the simple fact of attempting to stay in top 50. So.
Oh yeah, I do that. I just grind that out. So one of the
okay,
things,
Ninja, you have a lot of time, man. You just got a lot of time.
No. So I have a secret, and a lot of people don't appreciate this on the level of what it is. I grind it. I find partners where I can say, okay, I know what islands you have, and I know I can press that island, and I can press fight, and 30 seconds later, I will have won, and I can skip through the screens and do another battle. So what will end up happening is I will take the weekend and the evenings, and I will just do that while I'm doing something else. Like, I'll be on the phone with friends, or doing something doing miscellaneous computer work, whether that's catching up on email, news, any one of those things, and I'll be doing that as a background task, so it's not taking up my time in a practical way, because I'm multitasking, and I'm sure all of you people who are like, you can't multitask, are gonna flame me for it, but that's what I do, and it keeps the amount of time that I'm investing very low from a functional standpoint, because I'm still getting a whole bunch of other stuff done.
You can't multitask, but It's because your focus, or you can kind of, but it's not really, because your focus just jumps towards something else, and then something that like really fast, like split. So it's not technically multitasking, but if it were multitasking, your focus would be a lot less for both of them.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what ends up happening, is that what I'm doing is I'm really just quickly switching my focus, because I really only need to be engaged for that 5 seconds where I'm finishing a battle. Well, it's usually more like 7 seconds where I'm finishing one battle and starting the next one, and then I've got usually about 3 to 4 times that where I can, so something like 30 seconds usually, where I can be doing something else, and then I can swap back and forth.
So
it's not ideal.
Sven says, I have almost zero respect for the meta that allows the log mentality in wallets to pay to win. So there you go. Devs messed up with Conquest. Those events scream free to play. That's absolutely correct, Kool-Aid, don't they? I mean, it's insane. It's insane because in Conquest events, if it wasn't for level 9 and level 10 and wanting to get the one, it was my call. I made it to 8. I beat 8. I'm sorry, wait. No. I made it to 8, the beginning of 8, without spending. I actually was in the plus. I was 500 gems up from where I started the event, because of course you get gems in the event plus your dailies and everything else. And I had so many portal stones saved up for it too, that it just seemed so. As long as you can grind it, you can get to 8, definitely. And complete 8, just got to put some more time in. Myself, I just decided to start gemming things to get myself finished with 9 and 10, because I just wanted to finish the event. So, but that was just me because I wanted Avalos. But if I'm not interested in those level 10s on Conquest, I'll probably be finding myself at finishing at 8 on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah. Even me, like, my interest in Conquest is very seldom the rewards. Like, Lubu, those 2 relics were, like, amazing. But for the last Conquest, was I interested in the Spartan Helm? Yeah, it's a really good Imperial relic, but the biggest thing I was after was triple drops. Like, I have so many relics to level, it's literally not even funny, and that's really the only opportunity where I can take my level 60 Titans or whatever, and I can let them AFK on a land, cap the land for 1 stone, and then repeat ad nauseum and actually get solid drops for them.
Yeah, sure. Where's Bo? Bo is typically not on my Friday night streams, or even sometimes even my weekend streams in general, just because his normal availability for live streams / like video making and stuff like that is typically Monday through Thursday. On a general basis, just due to work. But besides from that, though, of course, he does join in periodically, if he does have free time. But most of the time, he spends his weekends home with the family. Yeah, I know, Churro, yeah. It does stink. It's not always, but, you obviously have, I have a great time with whoever jumps on the stream with me, so. But I do enjoy doing the weekly stuff with Bo, especially on Thursdays or Wednesdays now with the live stream move. Yeah, right, Ed's channel, I have no idea. Level 8 for you too, Pulse? Yeah, right? So.
Oh, Zalon, I heard earlier you said there was, like a sign thing for the Zeus event.
There's sign-ups for the Zeus event for the 3 teams that are going to be put up. Well, right now, currently, I think we've already filled up 1 team, and we're going to have at least another team that we're going to be doing for top 50 finish. Both of those teams, of course, are being everything's being offered up to current NTG players first. The 3rd team right now is starting to get filled up with some of our Masters team players, because we're obviously offering it to them too as well. And then we're going to go to outside NTG alliances and offer up any remaining spots on the third team if there is any left. So that's pretty much how the breakdown is on it, because we're trying to obviously give everybody that's already in NTG the opportunity to join up and to be in the event. Now, obviously, the third team that goes in, as long as we have 2 full teams, the third team will also be trying to push for top 50. So it's going to be pretty intense, and we are asking for a lot to be on the team. It's not, hey, if you can put up 10k souls. No, it's pretty much all the requirements are finish, if not finish plus. So whatever it is. So that's
I
pretty
heard
much
a comment about conclusive being and like the number 1 guild. I forgot, or alliance. I forgot what that was. But
what are you referring to? Beta Soul?
Yeah. Is Beta Soul accepting members that are trying to go past as well?
If you're in their chats, they have opened signups to the people that
What's up, Crazy Joker?
were already in the chat. They have, I think it's 3 alliances filled out already, and they're suspecting that they'll be working on filling a 4th from there, so they'll be open, and they'll be doing that. So yes, and I was part of them. I just wanted to play a little bit more of the VP game recently, so I have been checking out some various VP alliances.
Oh, can you link or send me a link to their band?
It's a line.
Line.
It's going to be a line chat. Pretty much anybody that's not an NTG alliance, everybody outside of NTG uses line. That's pretty much how it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Although the main NTG band for Dawn of Titans is open to absolutely everybody, and of course there is a lot of people in there. It's like some 900 some people in that chat, and it won't get nuked. So as we continue to constantly say that, people are like, "What?" Yeah, band doesn't work the same way as line, and you won't have to deal with any of that kind of crap. Plus, I don't know how easy it is for you to be able to do. Gosh, there's a few other features on band that I don't think happen in line. So there's it's definitely what I would consider a very easy to use app for out of game communication. But there's Yuluth, everybody. Yuluth is a great. Oh, Crazy Joker. Oh, seriously? Thanks, Crazy Joker. I really appreciate that. It's been a good night's stream, and of course we're doing the stream for Fury. He's at work right now, working the 3rd shift over in wonderful Great Britain, and Fury, of course, has been the main crown holder in NTG War for probably over a year now. Getting there. It's getting there. So he's definitely done an amazing job for us, and going through a little bit of family issue right now. So of course, no health issue, but we definitely want to throw the support to Fury, because he is a very integral part of the NTG alliances, and also many other leaders that are outside of NTG have definitely had their run-ins with Fury. He is a very active member. So big shout out to him, and hopefully he's having a good time at work tonight. All right, so can I give a shout out to Hell Proof Alliance, first time in the top 50? Nice, Robert Johnson. That's awesome. Congratulations to your alliance members.
So Zalan, I'll take a question from Dylan. Meaning, I've got one for you.
Oh, okay,
so
go ahead.
I was thinking pretty recently about Titans who are kind of out of meta, changing a little bit, and one of the ones that consistently comes to mind is Matano, because right now Maidens so strongly counter Panthers that I find that you can can simply easily run a good Maiden Titan and bring it against even a top-end Metano defense on Garrison and just walk on it. So what would you think if they did a kind of a Metano build like they did Valorn? How do you think that would fare? You still think it would have the same issues?
You mean like having a Valorn build on like a Metano for poison?
Yeah, basically. So
I mean, I
like
think any
3 or
Valorn
4
build,
tier
I
twos.
feel like any Valorn build on any Guardian Titan is going to be like for other troops. I think is still going to be very effective. That's my opinion. But
Oh, I just downloaded Line. Can you
What-
send me the?
oh yeah, wait, Ninja, were you still saying something there? Did you cut out?
Nope, I was just
Oh, okay.
kind of curious.
I
your
mean, I think.
perspective. I was wondering. if you had more
I
to
mean, I
say.
think so. I thought you were going to come back with something else. I'm sorry, but yeah, when it comes down to it, like, you know, I really think that any Valorn type of Titan, and I think they know that. You know, when you would think at this point, when it comes down to like mapping out other Titans that they want to release that are going to be in between God Titans, because I still believe even after the Greek gods are quote unquote done, they're still going to bust out another line of God Titans. Now, when will we see that? Maybe closer to the end of the year. They might start releasing, maybe, or maybe they'll wait until early next year to do that. But we'll see what happens. But when they quote unquote are going to be done with the God Titans for the time being, what other Titans are they going to be able to offer? And I think that might be one of the, I don't want to quote unquote filler, but because everyone's like, well, when's the next gods? But when we see other Titans get released in the future, especially for defense, because that's another big selling point is defense, that I think that's going to be the case. And of course, there's Fury in the comments. Gave us a nice smiley face. Karen Saney, hey, how we doing? Good to see you, Karen. It's been a while. Karen has at a certain point in time. I don't know how much playing time Karen has gotten in, but I know that Karen has had a very large Titan collection over the time that Karen's been in the live streams with me. So I don't know if it's still rolling or not. But good to see you. Metano took down my Kronos. I had to look twice at it. Oh, really, Pulse? Interesting. You think Zeus is going to be like a bigger and badass version of Storm Maidens shooting bolts? Well, I think that actually it's just the fact that the way it seems is it's going to be Storm Maidens summoning. You're going to be able to summon a bunch of Storm Maidens, but you're also going to have a buff on your the Storm Lightning Storm spell. Like your Lightning Storm spells are actually going to be more effective. Now, it doesn't look like you're actually going to get any Lightning Storm spells like in the Titan skills, but hopefully some of some of Zeus's relics will also have maybe some summoning Lightning Storm spells on them as well. Okay, Kool-Aid, that is a great question. Thank you for asking it, because that's another one that's going to be coming up soon enough, and now that the hype of Zeus is very realistic, it's definitely... So what is your guess for min top soul count for top 50 on Zeus? My guess is 1.4 million.
That's going to come...
That's going to be either that or maybe a little bit more. I mean, maybe over 1.5, but, definitely up there, because Kronos, what was Kronos top 50? Kronos was top 50 was like was it one? I know it was over 1 million. I know that definitely, but I forget if it was 1.4 or 1.3 or if it was 1.5. I forget where it finished out at. That's the only thing that I don't have off the top of my head right now.
I think the biggest thing as far as soul count is going to come down to what is the actual count of the event. What is the finish point or the point not finish point.
The point of no return.
Soul count.
Yeah.
Where you are no longer getting rewards other than alliance placement for the souls you're putting in, because that's going to be the point where what'll usually happen is you're going to see a lot of people get a whole boatload of relics. They're going to finish the event day 1 and day 2, and then they're going to grind out souls over the next couple days using free portal stones here and there, and maybe some extra, just a free refresh here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ends up happening is your soul counts tend to pretty decently depend on what is that initial cost of how high do they have to go up during that early phase. And if they're doing like a 27,000 event, I could easily see a soul count going well beyond 1.4 million, because 1.4 million basically equates to 28,000 souls a player. So if you've got a 27,000 min event, like, I could easily see it going well beyond 1.4 million.
Well, that's for top 50. That's for like 50th place, though. I think that's what he was asking. We're not talking about top numbers. Oh, you were still talking about bottom number? Okay.
Yeah, I was still talking about bottom numbers, because you're gonna get a lot of people that are like, well, and I've seen this dynamic play out in some of the non-top alliances that I've played with for events. It's the question of, is it worth it for me to push more? And when you hit that, I've gotten all the rewards that I can out of this event, there's a significantly reduced inclination to push beyond that, because you're not really getting anything other than what you're placing for as a team. And that gets to be how worth it is the Titan, and what's the psychology behind what's going on around the rewards, and all of that starts playing into it.
Nice. So Karen says I have 138 at 142. Very nice. I know I have something in the 120s range. Last time I counted, or last time I looked, it was something like I still need about like 12 more or something like that. So maybe I'm at 130 now. I'd have to check. Taking a break after an autopsy of a guy. Oh. Well, that's right, Karen. You work at the morgue, don't you?
I don't think I've ever seen a more depressing job in a message in chat ever. Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough.
At least 24k to complete. That's 1.2 in a team of 50 if everyone finishes. Yeah. 24k, 1.2. So we'll see. I mean, when it comes down to where the top end is, I honestly think that if it's a 3 Titan event, that Zeus will be like 22k, you know, and they'll put a Titan at 17 or 18, and they'll put another Titan at like 11 or 12. So, and then, but they'll still go past that 22. They'll go to 20. They'll go to 24 or 26, something like that, and throw more relics in there. So,
what if they did like the first ever, like 2 Titans, like 2 new Titans in an event, like they put Zeus and Hera, like new.
I don't think they've ever done that.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever done that either. But in a case of, they could definitely, because I mentioned it before, and a few people agree with me. I saw in chat, but they could do a thing where they release Hera as a brand new Titan, and she's the boost for Zeus, and she's just in a pull event before the event. You know, it could easily be...
That they've done before.
Yes, that's something they've done before, and could easily be something where... Because Sakani was released before Christmas, and there's been a couple other situations where they've released... Stormborn was released before... What was Stormborn released before some event? Because Stormborn and Calvarax were the boost... Wasn't it Stormborn and Calvarax were the boost for Odin? Something.
Yes, that's what happened. They released Stormbore just before as like oh hey, you need a boost, and then everyone was absolutely tilted that they re-released Calvarax again and had him as a boost too for Odin. It was
real goofy.
It was fun watching the community blow up over that.
It was very goofy. It was very goofy. Number 1 Alliance finished over 2 million souls in the Kronos event. Yeah, right. Poseidon? Yeah, Churro. We may see Poseidon be also offered. Like, that's still my dream situation for the Zeus event would be Valoran as the first Titan, released at like 12k, Poseidon released at 18k, and Zeus released at 22. There you go. People would be very happy with that. The relics in the event, of course, you have to provide both of Poseidon's relics and both of the... oh, somebody subbed? Thank you. Thank you for the sub. I'm going to see who it was here. It'll pop up on the screen in a second. But I heard the sound effect, so... But yeah, you have to provide both of Poseidon's relics, and you also have to provide both of the... I would assume there's going to be 2 relics for Zeus as well, because every God Titan that's come out has had at least 2. Oh, it's Mario. Oh, thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would like that. That's my dream.
I'm kind of with Crazy. They're not going to give Valorn away that easy. Like, Valorn is still too much... Valorn is still too meta as a defender for her to be that kind of low-hanging fruit. Too many people would go for her at that level, and I think Poseidon would be enough. For them to give away 3 top-tier Titans in one event would just be... I'd be shocked.
It's an okay job. You learn the various ways in which to kill a person. Oh, there you go, Karen. I guess that's true.
Remind me not to piss you off, ever.
Yeah. That's right. What will be scary is the supporting Titan. Imagine Poseidon for Zeus event. Yeah, that's true. Because if they do that, it'll be, people will be very upset because not too many people have Poseidon. Or maybe they'll make Poseidon available for $100, everybody. Wouldn't you be excited? Wouldn't you be excited if they provide a nice $100 Poseidon out there for everyone?
I would frankly really like to see Poseidon, a kind of a Poseidon Zeus in the same way that we saw Hades Kronos in that last event. No, not last event, but in that particular event. I think that would be kind of my ideal event.
They might have a lightning berserker. Yeah, they might. They might. We have a bunch of them already, though.
Yeah, Solgar, Arvan. You've got the Marwalk that we didn't see get released. There's a lot of viable options for lightning berserkers.
All right, so I think that we're gonna be I'm gonna probably wrap up the stream here, but I'm gonna do a relic pull. This one will be for Fury. I pulled one at the beginning of the stream, and I've been just straight grinding 12 souls the entire time. So here at the end of the stream, we'll do one more relic pull. Let's see what we get. And because of Fury, this will be a 4-star. Oh, it's a 1-star. Oh, like everyone was saying, they're popping up, and I actually hadn't seen any 1-stars yet. So unfortunately, I did get one, but it's all right. Full deal. I was hoping for a 4-star, though. It would have been pretty epic. But yeah, there's that 4-star right there. Of the Nectar of the Gods. I'm just waiting to use it. Not in this event, though. Waiting to use it, hopefully, in the Zeus event. We'll see, though. It'll be quite...
I just got back on. Sorry.
Awesome, Dylan. Thank you for letting us know.
So basically, can I get a recap? Like
a recap? You're gonna have to. Oh no, there's no recap. We can't make the last however many minutes that you didn't hear happen again. You're gonna have to rewind or rewatch.
No, I mean like the last 12 seconds.
Oh well, you didn't miss much. It's all right.
He's pulling relics for Fury.
Yeah, I pulled one event relic just to see if I got anything real crazy. Because I prefer to pull my event relics if I do on stream, because I tend to have better luck that way.
Oh, okay.
It's my lucky rabbit's foot. But I'm gonna do these 8 battles for the 1 star here, and for the glory, and we're gonna wrap it up. Definitely appreciate everybody in the live stream chatting away, always. And it looks like, yeah, let's see how many. Yeah, definitely over a 2-hour stream right now. So definitely a good amount of content for the people that will be rewatching throughout the rest of the night.
Let's do another marathon stream.
Marathon streams are only for Conquest, Dylan. Only for Conquest.
Then the 6-hour stream?
No. Oh, the 6-hour stream might have been not for Conquest, but it's alright. They're only for Conquest now. Just like triple battle drops. If triple battle drops were only for Conquest, then only marathon streams for Conquest. Super marathon streams are going to be done for Zeus event, but that's going to be in an essence of a 24-hour stream. Hopefully, will be set up between all the DOT YouTubers here very shortly. Besides from all the people that are going to be streaming, like what's it called? All the people that are going to be doing, because we basically have to talk to Chris from Natural Motion, and typically we're gonna hope to get. I talked to Bo about it, but we'll see if we can do another 5K gem giveaway during the Zeus event, and see if the devs will allow it, because it was a lot of fun last time that we gave away gems on our live streams. Besides from that, though, and that'll probably be only for the SPPs. We do have a bunch of people that do DOT live streams that are not part of the Social Power Player program that is set up through the developers. But I do know that they will definitely, for those that are selected to stream during that 24-hour live stream, that the devs will definitely push a notification out on their stream, letting everyone know that everybody's streaming. So the whole thing is to just get as big of a crowd as possible, so that we can all enjoy the event together, because we know it's going to be a very big and very exciting event. So your inventory is finally 460 out of 500. Wow, after 3 months of 530 out of 500. Huh. Robert Johnson, you can't quit now? Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, yeah, I do my typical live streams. If anything, if they get into like the close to 3 hours or whatever, it's not too bad. But if you watch the whole time, though, I do appreciate it, you know. But if not, you can go back and there's also what's it called? I definitely am excited for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night there'll be we got Jim's gonna be streaming first, and then we got D and Drum are gonna be streaming after Jim, and I think Gaming Jaeger's gonna stream tomorrow night too. So Saturday night's nice. I'll definitely take a Saturday night off and enjoy being in other people's streams. Definitely, it's a favorite of mine. All right, how we got? 6 more battles.
Do you know what the...
Oh, okay, one more shout out for Momo Squad on my first time on the live stream. Another shout out for Momo Squad, most definitely. They've been around. Definitely, I could have sworn there was some before they became Momo Squad. I swear that Momo was like an alliance by themselves, and then they joined into the Suicide Squad family, which is fairly large. A lot of alliances over there. And at this point in the game, I feel like the families are the ones that run a majority of the event alliances as well. So it's one of those kind of things at this point, because there's There's One Vision family alliances. There's Suicide Squad family alliances. Then there's actual event team families where you have, TR All-Stars, where it's more or less like they get together just during the events. Beta Soul is very much like that. It used to...
Beta also has a lot of VP alliances, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, then they have both, at the same time. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, I just feel like a lot of families typically find themselves in the top 50 on a pretty regular basis and more or less look at it like that. And you also got, I mean, there's plenty of other groups out there too. I don't want to sound like I'm missing anybody or anything like that, but you can just go up and down the Alliance leaderboards, especially during major events. Like the Zeus event, you're going to see names of alliances up in top 50 that you haven't seen in a long time. It's always the case. Kronos was very similar. There was alliance names up there that I hadn't seen in a long time either. But Events R Us, very common. Besides from that, War Gods, they're still around. You'll see those WGs. Besides from that, of course, you'll see Russian alliances. I can't really shout them out because I don't know how to read Russian.
Yeah, the Solmari family is pretty popular.
Yep, Solmari family. When you see... Now, I typically go by the E's, but majority of the time that you see the E's in slash lines, they're Force alliances most of the time. Is that a pretty good premise there, Ninja? Because
I would say no, primarily because you can see the one is the E.
Well, yeah, it's
pretty
true.
Sure
it's
that
true.
Beast's
It's true.
Alliance is actually a Beta VP alliance. And the E and Beta and Force don't really have anything to do with each other, so they're using the E independently of that.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. I guess that's true. But I was just gonna say, I see a lot of Force alliances, but sometimes it seems like they're not always. Is that a Force enemy? Was that Public Enemy and Force together? Wow.
Yeah, there's a Force and PE had a merge, and put together some pretty solid players.
Interesting. That's interesting. Jokers is definitely an alliance. Kraken, seen them around. Poland, most definitely. This one right here, again, I can't read Russian, but I always want to say the Mayhem. I always want to say like Mr. Mayhem but there's an ORHE before it. So, but it's the same Russian alliance every time that I always recognize their name, and they're definitely pretty prominent.
The Chinese alliances.
Well, no, I was just getting to the Japanese VP alliance where it's a bunch of symbols and then VP JP. They're always up there. That's that one Japanese alliance. They do real good. They were one of the major contenders in the last Throne Wars, so I remember that very specifically. Of course, we got Vision, Rogue Freedom, Valhalla Praetorian Born. There's another Force alliance.
Since there hasn't been like a Throne War in a while. Mm-hmm. Do you think Zeus will be unveiled by a Throne War?
I believe. Wait, what? Do you think there will be a Throne? Are you asking if there's going to be a Throne War before or after Zeus? What is the question?
Technically, either before or after or during.
I think the next time we see the Throne Wars, it'll be after Zeus. Let's just put it that way. I don't see the Throne Wars dropping down out of the sky in the next few weeks. So,
yeah. To be honest, I'm almost of the opinion that they're not particularly strongly sold on Throne Wars as an event anymore. Even in the last one where it ran fairly smooth, I'm wondering if they simply felt that it wasn't a particularly great moneymaker of an event and had a lot of server issues, and so they're just kind of avoiding it. A lot of reason for that is your top tier players with amazing defenses tend to basically just collect all the lands and send them to the thrones with ridiculously high tier defenses that are incredibly difficult to break. And so what happens is you can't really participate in that event unless you're like castle level 23 with all 23 troops, because you're having to break not just good max defenses, but like absolute top tier defenses of 25 titans and troops and all of that stuff. And that's a really rough event to play, and I just don't think there's enough players that can really take advantage of that type of content.
Yeah. We also have Alex saying nothing better than drinking beer, playing DOT, and watching live PD. There you go. Karen said, well, back to the table. I got another body has arrived. Happy hunting. See you later, Karen. Thank you for stopping by. I actually lost a battle with that event relic on, but 48 souls. I can make that 48 souls back up with grinding. It's alright. Life's not over.
So, Zalon, what are you using to run your stream?
Streamlabs off of my Android phone. So pretty much, I'm just running that application on my phone, and that's it. But other than that, of course, I have my my tablet right above my phone running Discord, and then I also have my other phone that I got the chat up in, so I'm able to kind of, do all three at once. Just a bunch of stacked up devices. It works pretty well, at least for right now. Yeah, agreed. Conquest killed Throne Wars. Yeah, right. Yeah, Ed's channel, I got defeated. It was because, again, I was just going through the chat, making sure I didn't miss anything. And then look over. See, again, it's a case of when you're raiding with all Morand, and you're just trying for minimal troop loss, you're just, you do have to participate. There is that. The participation needed. It's just like Calvarex.
Another way,
same thing.
You're doing PP lands, just use a champion or something.
Well, that takes a lot longer, though. That's just a dragged-out battle, though.
Yeah.
When I'm using...
And that's actually one of the reasons why I was asking him about Streamlabs and stuff. I was considering doing a stream on, okay, how do you actually do ping pong, and how do you really some of the things that I've thrown out there in some of my lengthy tirades against people who don't appreciate the value that ping pong and specialty land development brings to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Was considering doing at some point some video content on what all of that looks like, but that's another day.
There you go. Alright, 2 more battles. 2 more battles, Dylan. Any other questions? Final question phase. Dylan?
I'm going to throw a shout out real quick to Crazy Joker's comment. Throne Wars would work if they have free max troops and free max spells like Conquest. I think that would be something that could make Throne Wars really cool. Because there is... I think it's an incredibly fun experience in Conquest to be bringing to the table top-tier troops with Titans who are really more designed for it. And I think that could bring some really cool... That could help level the people who have played 50 or paid $50 bazillion to get all of the Titans every time, and people who have a couple good Titans but don't have the troops yet. And that could help level the playing field. I think that would be really cool.
Nice.
Well, it seems Ed's channel wants me to do the content on ping pong.
There you go. He's a fan.
You should do it.
One more. Gotta get one more battle in.
Ooh, hey, Prometheo.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, alive, kicking, and getting souls.
There you go.
There you go.
That said, I think I'm gonna have to take a trip to the land of Nod and get some rest for the night. So it's been a pleasure, but I'll catch you all around.
All right, excellent. Thank you again for joining in. Always appreciate it. You were here with me the whole stream, which always is very nice. So you didn't hesitate to jump on when I asked. So very nice.
Well, it's always good fun to be here. So thank you for having me.
Oh, of course, of course.
Oh, goodbye. But it's kind of funny that, like, someone joins and then someone leaves.
It does happen. It does happen.
Like,
Cross down
consistently through the stream.
Yes, it does happen. Ed's channel. Question. Yeah, unfortunately he's gone, but I don't know because Ninja is not Ninja in the chat, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting yawning. What's it called? Oh, there's Joshua. Yeah, not really. Yeah, his name is Joshua Messenger in the chat. So, but he will let us know when it happens. I'm sure it will get around. All right, so we're at 3750. Well, that's quite a nice round number there. So 250 more. Let's see where we are here. Because I'm only going to 12. So.
You go for the Nature's Call?
Yeah, I gotta go for Nature's Call. Got to.
Yeah, it's a good relic, but the crossbow is the real gem.
Yeah, most definitely. I just need another nature. I just need a Nature's Call in general, just so I can have it. But yeah, at least the crossbow and the sling, I'm definitely gonna get both these new ones. The 4-star XP relic, that's just a nice bonus, man. I like it. Needs to stay. Needs to stay. 4-star XP relic. Oh, and I'm getting another one in the calendar. I'm gonna have 2 4-star XP relics. Super ballin'. So.
Yeah, I just got my calendar 4-star. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So, but I did see somebody post a picture of their new calendar, and it didn't have a 4-star XP relic. It had a 3-star at the end. So,
yeah.
I don't know if the 4-star XP relic is going to be in every calendar, people. Just so you know. All right, well, thank you again for everybody joining in. Prometheo, I'm actually jumping off, so I just did my last battles. But thank you for jumping on Discord, though, at the very end. I do appreciate it.
Of course.
Well, Prometheo has also been doing a lot of good videos on his channel, just so you know. So look out for that. He has constant, different analytical videos on all sorts of different aspects of Titans and where they stack up against each other, and all sorts of other informational content. It's very good.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the plug. Yeah, I'm gonna do one on the new relic showing how they changed the best archer build.
Okay. Nice. So there you go. All right, DOT community. I will be back again on Sunday, but probably not tomorrow. I'll be on other people's streams tomorrow, so you will see me there. All right. So any last words, Dylan? Nope, he can't hear me and he can't say anything. It's all right, though. All right, DOT. I can just see it. All right, DOT community. I will talk to you all again very soon. Have a good night, everyone.